And then somehow Vita became a failure,
Yeah.
and the 3DS became like this massive success. And so
Which is crazy because the Vita looks so good.
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Sinai. So today we're gonna be reacting to a video by IGN called "When Did Gaming Handhelds Stop Being Fun Size?" You know, they're looking for the fun size Butterfingers. So please make sure that you go ahead and sub. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hit my first 1,000 subs so I can get monetized for real, for real. If you do sub, there's a contest to win a Trim UI brick. Make sure that you look in the community comments and you can see how to try to enter that contest there. All right, enough of me yapping. Let's get to the video.
get that 3DS and Vita. I always look back at that 3DS and Vita era in like this weird thing where it's like, wow, I've never seen both of these companies screw up at the same time. Like, no, like it's like usually they take turns, right? And Nintendo was just like, our thing is is too expensive and it hurts kids' eyes. And PlayStation's like, ours is is too expensive and you can't save on it unless it's more expensive. And then a couple months later, they were both like, sorry, we screwed up. And then somehow Vita became a failure, and the 3DS became like this massive success. And so, yeah.
Which is crazy because the Vita looks so good, man. It's such a good looking handheld, but I don't even own one.
It was just odd. It was odd to see that because, like, I mean, I love both, right? And I have a ton of nostalgia for both, but it was like holding like a launch 3DS and holding a launch Vita. It was like one of these things feels like a flat screen TV that plays next gen console games, and the other one's like just like this weird Palm Pilot thing that they would have in like a 90s like Michael Crichton movie, basically, like something somebody would pull out. Like, oh, well, that's cool. Do you use that to track the gorillas? And they're like, no, the diamonds. And you're like, oh, cool. Like it didn't really make sense to me why one would be like it's significantly more successful than the other. The Vita deserved better.
I agree.
It did. I'll say that.
I remember being at IG.
I definitely knew more people who had a PSP than a Vita. Let me know, did you have a PSP or a Vita? I had a PSP. I don't think I've ever even seen a Vita in real life.
Because I was at IGN when the Vita launched, and I forget who, but there was like one or two people who were adult employees at IGN who were like furiously arguing about the two. Like people who were like, no, you don't understand. The Vita's got more good games than Nintendo has for any of its systems already. And I was like, wow, man, we all have.
Yeah, people be capping for the companies they love, man. I can't, because that's one thing that I have seen. People will say that the Vita is mostly for like if you like JRPGs, like it doesn't have a strong catalog from what I've heard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
College degrees here. Let's calm down.
Yeah, I think there was a lot more not tribalism. That's probably too hard of a word for it, but
no, that's probably the perfect word for it.
We had vertical, like channel verticals at IGN at the time. Yeah. So you would have like a there was like an IGN PlayStation, there was an IGN Xbox, there was an IGN Nintendo, and you would I think that like some of the channel leads, and one of them at the time was Greg Miller, who a bunch of us worked with. We've all worked with and or been in the same room with. Ran the PlayStation channel, and I was in charge of like features at the time, which were generally platform agnostic, and were just like the top 10 funny games to play if you're gonna jump off a bridge tomorrow, whatever. Right? And I remember Greg one time was just like, hey, you have this new feature coming out. I think it's going to do really well. And I was like, thanks, man. And he was like, I'll buy you lunch if you launch this on the IGN.com/PlayStation channel and not anywhere else. Because like you could put it specifically somewhere first, and then that channel would.
How long has he worked for IGN? I don't know who this dude is. I don't know who any of these people are. No disrespect to them.
Get the views. And Greg took me out and he bought me like a chicken parm, but I felt like a corrupt little piglet. People are like, do you guys get, so do publishers pay you to give reviews a good score? And I was like, that has never happened to me. I've literally never been paid by a video game company to say a video game is good.
But Greg Miller bought me a chicken.
Greg Miller bought me a huge ass, like $15 San Francisco chicken parm once, just to launch a feature on the IGN.com/PlayStation.
So took that chicken parm too and smashed that mug. I feel you.
If you're looking for the corruption, it's right there. And it continues to be there. And you know what? I can't speak on Kind of Funny's business models these days, but I bet you the same sort of corruption is happening right now. And I think they should.
You want to know one of the things that kept me away from the Vita? This is kind of dumb reason. I don't know. But it's the interface. Like the interface just did not look sexy to me. Like with all those little circle icons like floating around, like that just was not aesthetically pleasing to me. The PSP, that looked cold.
Should dig into that. I think people should look into what's going on behind the scenes over there. I'm calling you out, Greg. I think that you're probably paying people with chicken parm sandwiches under the table, over the table, side of the table, wherever you put the chicken parms. I think it's happening right now. So look into it.
I will say, by the way, you had mentioned stealing UMDs. Mm-hmm. Guess who stole some UMDs when he left IGN? I don't know. There used to be a gaming closet back in the day that had like a bunch of like.
Aren't they showing this on IGN? Am I tripping? Ain't they showing this on IGN? Let me see. I'm watching IGN, right? IGN. Okay, yeah. Yo, just to let y'all know, IGN, he's stealing this stuff and laughing about it on your YouTube channel.
Like DS and 3DS and UMD stuff. And boy, oh boy, there was some that I walked out with. I don't think
Man, they gonna have this dude locked up.
anyone would want. Like it was
This that self-snitching.
It's like nobody wants this obscure JRPG. I'll just take it.
There was they moved that gaming closet from office to office sometimes, and there's always just like there was this bucket. Max, it was like a bucket of GBA games that you would just reach in
case or like a garbage. But it was like literally a giant, like the most Game Boy Advance games you've seen in one place, unless you worked at a Game Boy Advance cartridge factory. Like it was just a vat of them. And like, yeah, I remember at one point I rooted through there and I found as many of the worst ones as I could find. Like it was like Fear Factor and like X versus Sever 2, not the first one. I get like it was just
not the movie, the one that was a sequel to the game that was based on the movie X versus Sever.
Exactly. Yeah. So I tried to find as many of those, and I just like kept them in my desk and just I think I maybe try to play 2 of them or something. But
let's get to the handheld.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about this in terms.
What are they talking about? Talking about chicken parmesans and stuff. Man, I'm trying to figure out about the title of the video.
I love them. I think they're a neat idea, but it reaches this point where like this is calling this portable is generous.
Okay.
And I guess are we all on the same page here, or like what would you want from a PlayStation 6 portable, Jada?
Honestly, I don't even know at this point. There's so many handhelds. I have so many consoles. I don't know what else I would want out of this dang thing at this point. I guess something that is equivalent to the Portal plus more, because the Portal does give me that access to my library. It gives me access to my account and things that I want to do with it. But I guess just I don't know if because I don't mind the Portal size, so I don't know if I want it smaller. I wouldn't mind it being smaller, so that it would be that pocket size thing once again. That would be nice. I don't even know. Like I honestly like I don't care to be honest about another PlayStation handled. And this.
Then why are you on this conversation?
I don't know. This is maybe blasphemous to say on a PlayStation podcast. I just don't care right now.
That's a
like
bold statement, Jada.
It is like I just hate the rumor milling of stuff that may or may not be true. And if true, we may not see for 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 years.
I feel that.
I don't know. Like, what is this? Like, it's, I don't know. Go to someone else. Maybe they have better ideas of things they want.
Why are you a part of this conversation if you don't care about it? I don't understand. Did they just need to fill 4 panels?
Jada, you like playing games on your TV, but you also use your Portal a lot for like platinums, for like games where you're like grinding, leveling up and stuff like that a lot, right?
Yeah, I use it especially if I'm watching like a TV show, like something I'm rewatching a show, like I'll put that on my TV and I'll play a game on my Portal. And I'm just like, all right, let's see if I get those lucky 7s to pop in Final Fantasy.
When the Portal was first announced, I was like, yo, this is the dumbest concept ever. And then like I got a PS5 and I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. I don't have one. I use my G Cloud, but it still looked kind of weird, man. Like just a tablet slap between PS5 controller. I mean, I don't know. I low-key kind of want one, and I low-key think it's the dumbest design I ever seen in my entire life.
7 Rebirth, or not Rebirth, what was the freaking the Zack, the prequel one? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Crisis Core?
Crisis Core,
Yes.
thank you. Yes. Like,
All right, y'all. I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna end the video. All right. I didn't gain nothing from that. I'm sorry, man. My ADHD is so if you got ADHD, you know what that meant. So I'm gonna answer the title, okay? When did handheld gaming stop being fun size? Okay, so now this is no longer reaction video. This is me yapping. When did gaming handheld stop being fun size? I want to say that was when the Switch was released, right? The Switch was released and it was no longer fun size because people are like, wait a minute, I can't fit this thing in my pocket. And you know, they got the Switch Lite, and that's kind of fun size, but I mean, nothing quite like, you know, putting the PSP or the Game Boy Pocket. Like that's the epitome, right? Because a Game Boy DMG, like, yeah, that was portable, but that was still a clunky console, you know, a clunky handheld. I'm sorry. Because if you put that in your pocket, you know for sure that you got that in your pocket. You will not forget about that. But I would say to answer the question is definitely when the Switch came around, because then it just started getting bigger, you know, like the Steam Deck. But I feel like they all have a place, right? That's why I can't just have one handheld. Like I gotta have a few different ones. I got the one that I'm, you know, just taking out the backpack, or a couple that I'm taking out the backpack, you know, something to fit in my pocket. So I don't know. They all got a place, but sorry, man. I'm sorry. IGN, y'all was doing a bit of yapping. Y'all was kind of all over the place. You know, it had a funny story. The chicken parmesan story was funny, but look, I came here for the title. You know what I mean? What are we talking about? You got somebody on the panel who not even interested in the conversation at all. They're like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I'm sorry, yo. But yeah. Love y'all and God bless. Salutations to the nations. Peace. Please make sure that you sub. Try to win you that Trim UI brick. You know what I'm saying? I look, and ain't nobody entered the contest yet. I'm like, look, I might just hold on to this mug. You feel me? All right, y'all. Peace.
Angel Knot.